Okay. Good morning, America. Good morning. Pick your place. First off, I feel a need to mention I have no modesty. I don't give enough of a fuck to have modesty. I just am. I mean, that's why I am covered in a blanket for your comfort, not mine. I have this great hat that says, actually I was at the VA. I'm one of the old timers. He was wheeling along, and I don't remember what we were talking about, but I remember, the wheelchair being relevant because I'm a short person, I'm even shorter now, but being seated, my eyesight was lower down, and so I was talking to him, but my eyes kept wandering to his cap, and his cap said, "This veteran medicated for your protection." I loved it so much. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna get one of those, and I ordered one, and then I got a black cap, it's in red writing, and I purpled out medicated. This veteran is for your protection. Enemies foreign and domestic, remember? I mean, anyway, moving on. No, I need, because this isn't about anger. This isn't about pain. This isn't about any of that. It's beside the point. Because you know what? False modesty's full of shit. I'm fucking smart. I'm a classic overachiever, and I don't give a fuck. It's the same thing as us coming home and caring so much that all this bullshit kills us, ruins us, destroys us, and guess what? That which kills us is the damn near exact reason the world is upset with us. Be it, oh, those American tourists, or, ooh, die, Americans, or, ooh, the white devil, whatever. That's the same fucking shit. The shit we can't handle when we come back, because our eyes are so open and our hearts are so vulnerable. That fucking shit that kills us is the same exact reason the entire world is fighting for its life, only nobody seems to get it. Nobody seems to get it except for the manipulators that are using it. Well, the quickest way from the bottom rung to the top of the ladder is not to climb the ladder, it's to flip the bitch. Turn the tables, change the game, make them come to you. This isn't about anger. I gotta smoke more. Hey, I'm doing my best. I'm still trying. Doing my fucking best, Joe. I don't know how to do any better, and if you know, drop a line. Because this shit's teamwork. And you know what? About a year into my recovery, because I've always been a good girl, Dudley Do Right, straight edge, obsessively classic overachiever. Because my greatest fear was failure. My greatest fear was failing to come through when it really fucking mattered. And I stand on the fact that I'm standing. Stand on the fact that I'm standing. And this something inside me that I know no other way to describe than God. You know, again, I've always been spiritual. You know, I mean, failure to be spiritual is really just fucking, really? You think you're it? You think... Anyway, different strokes for different folks. I do know that the faith and the trust found in a foxhole and no, oh God, what's Brian's statement? That's why I will take zero shit off of a civilian. You know, until anybody's been there, done that. And everybody walks in their own shoes, so, you know, everybody's path's a little different. But you know what? Me and mine. And until civilians walk that path, you don't have a fucking right to judge. Because we gave you those rights. Don't you dare use them against us. Anyway, I remember my point. About a year into my brain injury, you know, I got lucky, which saved my life, as he saves my life daily. You know, I mean, I love him. He has been my three-man stack. My lover, who does not judge me. My dog, who is equally unconditional. And nature and psychology. I guess I would flip psychology and that three-man stack under, you know, human nature. But nature, you know, and about a year and a half, I don't know, whatever. I asked a Marine friend of mine to teach me how to smoke, right? I mean, he knew what happened to me. We didn't do anything, we accidentally kissed once, but we didn't really do anything. And he slept with me, holding me, for about 2 weeks when I got back. You know, he just wanted me to know I was safe. I was taken care of. You know, when this big Huggy Bear strips down to his boxers and crawls in bed with me for damn near about 2 weeks, as I would bury my face in his chest and just fucking cry. And that Marine didn't even touch me. Because sex was never the mission. Making a battle feel safe, protected, and cared for after a traumatic event, that was the mission. And so, you know, like a year later or whatever, I asked him to teach me how to smoke, and he's like, yeah. You know, and God damn America for judging me. I have been such a Dudley Do-Right straight edge good girl that even despite for want of one stoplight of 20 feet for some arbitrary, ignorant, power reasons, I'm breaking the law. I'm breaking the law for my own survival. Because guess what? I would rather be shot, stabbed, and beaten to death than to have somebody fuck with my head. And God damn you, America, for making me feel guilty. I was talking no, keep in mind, keep in context. Dialectic behavioral therapy, reconciliation of the duality of self, blah blah blah, whatever. You know, bam, that was 2 weeks. Fundamental Maslow's hierarchy of needs shit. You know, and it was an issue with my shrink for a few months. The fact that I was choosing to smoke. Because my happiness matters. Because my happiness matters. And if it doesn't, it should. And that is why my lover says, honey, you need to smoke more. Yes, dear. Yes, dear. I was on the Weed for Warriors website. I don't remember. Time gets really funny in my head. Time dilation or whenever. I was on the Weed for Warriors website. No, a Facebook site. Whenever. Which means it had to have been recently because I'm normally not on Facebook and anyway, doesn't matter. I logged on to check something and there was a post there and it got my attention and I clicked on it and, you know, the first comment was from a female type brother, and she was adamant that smoking is a veteran's right, and how the fuck could it not be? You know, sorry, I'm trying to stay modest, you know, but happiness is our fucking right in the goddamn Constitution. And what we have been through to protect your happiness. You got no rights. You got no right to judge me. You've got not a fucking right to judge me, and that is why I will take zero shit off of a civilian. Smoke more, smoke more, smoke more. And honestly, brain, the type of shit coming from other, well, we got some Blue Falcons in our midst. That's all I'm gonna say, and we fucking know what it means. Scream Blue Falcon, because a traitor's still a fucking traitor. So, so with this whole, respiratory thing. Hold on. See, Doc, I'm drinking plenty of water. Yeah, anyway, with this whole respiratory thing and shit, my entire team at the VA, I called a meeting. And I held a meeting with every one of my care providers. And I'm like, y'all have had a year. This is fucking shit. Let's figure something out. And they were very patient and supportive. And my Skolton was like, we're gonna keep trying the homeopathic way. Because, I mean, they already pretty much fucking knew there's not a goddamn thing they could do for me. But we're continuing with the specialists and, you know, whatever, right? Anyway. So my phone gong went off. And right in the middle of the meeting, I just stopped and closed my eyes and took, you know, my 3 deep breaths, focusing and everything. And after we left the conference room, Skolton was like, well, no, because we were there and I explained, I mean, obviously it's kind of weird, just, and everybody's just sort of sitting there waiting for, okay. You know, I mean, the gong's audible, so, you know, it's clear what happened, but figuring out what happen's a little bit more challenging. So everybody's just sitting there staring at me, right? And when I'm done, I explain what I did, you know, and Skolton and I were walking down the hall after, and he's like, he's very glad to see I am implementing such practices. It's like, because doing such a thing like that has more impact than some of the pills I'm taking. And I'm like, whoa, really, Doc? Awesome! You know, and he's like, and my personality is pretty fucking larger than life, obvious, you know? Hi! And as we were walking down the hall talking about, I don't remember, anyway, I'm like, yeah, well, I don't think he knew I had been to the nunnery in Nepal. I don't think he knew that much about me at that point, but, you know, I mean, because he's the head of the polytrauma team, and rightfully so. He doesn't see, he sees me, it's rightfully so, but I am what I am. And he and I are having this conversation as we walk down, and I'm like, yeah, I've traveled far and wide, including the nunnery, and am implementing the techniques I have learned liberally. And he just smiled, you know? I mean, he's a doctor that cares. He's a doctor that would rather find a solution than write a prescription. You know, I mean, he's a doctor that I have been blessed and I have been gifted every way around. I was in the same neighborhood as one of the top 5 hospitals that specializes in exactly my type of brain trauma. Yay! That kept me alive, including my coma and everything else, like, for less than my stepmom's appendectomy. Medical costs! Just saying, yo, Canada and England seem to be doing just fucking fine. I gotta fix that. Anyway, all the way down to my wonderful Veteran Affairs polytrauma team. You know, and I don't know about the VA at large. You know, I know about what I know about. And that's why I try to stick to talking to what I know about, and I try not to mention problems unless I've got solutions. Because I still remember the part of me that wouldn't give an order unless I was willing to do it myself. And that includes one-way missions. Because there are worse things than death, and America needs to remember that. One of the obviously worse things than death, at least for veterans, 20 times faster than we died at war, life in America is worse than death. Fact, look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. And then who the fuck shows up on moving day? Because you know what? From direct phone calls with the major phone anxiety, direct phone calls to Wounded Warrior, going directly to IAVA, going directly to American Legion, going directly to the Secretary of the Army at the time, John McHugh, now former Secretary of the Army. So you've had your hands tied and free. Just saying. To the, you run the fucking flag up and down the pole. Yeah, I didn't hit everyone, but I hit all of them that I could handle. And the only entity that delivered was the VA. I know it's not popular, but I ask, who the fuck's doing better? Because it ain't the VSOs. Team Rubicon, Red, White, Blue, mission continues. The new generation of fucking VSOs are getting it. IAVA and Team Rubicon were the closest. Team Rubicon, I think's got it. IAVA, dude, you let an officer lead. You should know better. Officers need to be taught how to lead. And most of them never learned. Dude, I shook your hand. I watched you as a behavioral psychologist. I know you're a good guy. But I shook your hand. And I was a veteran in need. Actively reaching out. Wondering what a bullet tasted like. And you fucking shook my hand and passed me on. Who shows up for muster? Because the rest of it's just pride. A capital sin, might I remind you. How the fuck are your, how are your bills working? How's Congress treating ya? How ineffective is leadership? Sorry, it's not about anger. It's not about anger. It's about experiential learning. Because you know what? How long have you got to fail till you start to realize what right is? And I understand it's a pandemic excuse because, fuck, positive psychology's only been around for, like, say, the past 15 years. I mean, like, really, you know, and it's still just trying to crawl in. Because guess what? We've spent an entire psychological eternity in, the Freudian negative integers. You know, every action has an equal and an opposite reaction, which means to keep afloat, you gotta stay homeostatic. You gotta fucking balance. And to move forward, you gotta float. You gotta do twice as much work. You gotta have more in your favor than you're holding on to that's against you. And that's reality. Oh, okay, I get these thoughts and ideas and understandings and such, but it's like having a word on the tip of your tongue, okay? It's like wandering around a video game map when you've only got that bubble around you that's lit, and everything else is in fog or whatever, right? I remember where I came from. I remember what I've done. I remember how fucking smart I am. And that's just a fact. It's just a fact. Get over your own shit, because that's a fact. Because we can look at the testing. We can look at the cognitive testing, post brain damage and post partial lobotomy, and still know yeah, I'm just saying, fucking look at the facts. Because your inadequacy is not my problem. Anyway, so I have these thoughts and I know these things, but I can't quite explain how until things click, until I understand. I can't explain how I know until I understand how I know. Straight up, right? But I have faith that I know these things because time and again they have proven true. I stand in the fact that I'm standing, because I have faith. But I don't just have faith in God, big G, or little g. I believe that the Creator, we have limited the Creator by our understandings. I believe the Creator is both an entity and an action. It is an entity we reaffirm with our actions. It is a feeling, it is a love. It is the only thing which does not have a price. It is balance. It is homeostasis. It is a Mobius strip, the only thing in the known universe to have one edge and one side. It is psychology. It is nature. God is the solution. Everything that is the solution is God. If it's psychology, if it's nature, if it's love, whatever, it's all God. That is God. Honey bear? It's okay. Yeah, I don't even remember. Right, there we go.